Hola corazón, welcome back for my listeners and my followers here on YouTube, and welcome if you're new. My name is Alejandra. I am a love and confidence coach, and I am laughing at myself right now because I was going on a complete rant in regards to the topic of this week's episode, and I just feel like a total goon. So I'm gonna go ahead and try my best to repeat exactly what I said, but I think it's just freaking hilarious. So, anyways, I am here with my tea, one of my favorite cups because it has an elephant. I love elephants. I love every single animal now, and one of the ones that I get so excited about now is birds. I remember during the summer I needed a sign from the universe, and I was like, please send me a sign. And then there was a freaking hummingbird like so close to me. And then a couple of days ago, there was a really chubby cardinal in front of the tree, or in front of the like deck, and I got so excited, and I like had Sam come over. He's like, what? And I was like, look at this chubby cardinal. So yeah. And I also have been dreaming about turtles, which is really weird. And I think that's due to the fact of like where I am in regards to my life, my business, and where I want to go ahead and go. And I think I have had spirit really talk to me in regards to sharing my journey with you and how it all started, and letting you know that you're not alone, because I know that so many of us have been awakening, right? And have been navigating these unknown waters because everything that we have known isn't really true, and some of it is a lie. So it's time to unlearn the things that we've learned and relearn things again, if that makes sense. And just create your own truth. And you're going to know when you have that feeling inside of you. And also when it comes to like anxiety and stuff like that, that may be the fact that you're anticipating things from other people, reactions and scenarios that you're creating in your head, but it's not really the truth that is going on. I know I've had that a lot in my life when it comes to people, and I've assumed things, and I have cut people out of my life, and I have been just really hard on myself, and I just want to go ahead and come from a place of love, right? I mean, that's why I am a love coach, and I've been learning things, and I've been having more compassion, not just for myself, but for others. And it's been a freaking journey, you guys. And with that being said, I'm going to share with you how I went ahead and had my spiritual awakening. And I think many of us, like I said, have had this because of the big huge thing that's happened for 2 years now, right? And this was, let's say, the 4th of July of 2020. I was having a really great time. I had a great how can I say this? Just moment of realization of how amazing my life had become. Like everything that I wanted was in my possession. Like I was experiencing it. It was my reality, and it was truth. Like I had been able to manifest an amazing man by my side, something that I never thought I would ever experience in my life, because the examples that I had growing up was being abandoned before I was even born, being sexually abused by a partner that my mom had, and then just having men come and go, and my mom not realizing her own worth. And then I also saw my aunt, who was like my mother. She had a nasty divorce, and then she also had to deal with someone molesting her daughter too. And I see a pattern so much where our previous generation just didn't know how to value themselves, didn't know how to stand up for themselves. They didn't know how to go ahead and just truly see their power and the love that they had inside of them, because they were always taught of like, oh, love, it comes from a man or from another partner. It doesn't really come from inside of me. And that's something that I've come to learn. And that's kind of what started my whole entire journey. So if you have been on my channel, there's actually a video where I went on a journey to West Virginia, and I was meant to go on this trip with my mom. But I actually went ahead and was talking to my mom after the fireworks and everything, and I was telling her how I was in shock. I was in disbelief of like, how can I have just such an amazing life right now? Like, I had the man, I had the house, I had the job that I was making $50,000 a year, which I didn't think was possible, especially with a high school degree. I had a house that was affordable in our budget and was one of the houses that we cleaned as I was a kid, and I was on my path. I wanted to go ahead and make sure that my life was stable before I brought a kid into this world. And that's just been the way I wanted my life to be, and I was living that exactly. And she brought something up, which then I ended up just sharing with her why I didn't feel like I was close or I could be close with her, or why I had such resentment towards her. And there was something that she said that completely just baffled me, and I didn't hold anymore like the things that I wanted to say. And I kind of was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to go ahead and try to please you. I'm not going to go ahead and try to make amends or make like you feel greater or anything like that, because I was a kid. I was abused, not just sexually, but I was also abused by you physically constantly. And I was never emotionally supported to the point where I was always looking for partners that didn't fulfill that and were playing that role where I was trying to find love until I found love within myself. And so with that, I had a cabin booked, and on my way to the cabin, I was seeing the number 222 everywhere. I was like, what is that? And I looked it up on Pinterest because I've always heard about 1111, and I was like, okay, that's just like a wishing number. And it kind of was. And I kept seeing it months on end. And I actually was listening to an amazing podcast with this girl named Catherine Zinkina. She's very popular in the manifestation world. And then I was like, I already been able to do that. I need to go ahead and manifest money. And for some reason, I have this like habit or mindset that money is a pedestal. It's like you have to work hard for it or else it's unattainable. And I've been working. It's a work in progress. And I've also learned that money is just energy. Everything in our world is energy. And I wish I would have paid attention more in science class, because it's true. Everything is energy. We are energetic beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, but we're never taught this in school. We're never told of like, you are able to go ahead and manipulate energy. This is where manifestation comes in, because your thoughts are energy, and whatever you think is presented to you from your external realm. So you have to work on your inner world before you see things in your external world. And I know it's totally confusing, but once you get it, you get it. And this is why I have gone into this whole coaching business, because I have been able, like I said, create all of these things into my life. And I want you to be able to do the same. I want you to go ahead and create a life that you love. But in order to do that, you have to heal. You have to accept yourself of where you are right now, because in this world that we live in, we are experiencing the 3D dimensional. And in this time or space or whatever you want to call it, it is all about duality. So there is contrast, there is darkness, and there's light. And in the spiritual world nowadays, everything can be all about love and light, but there's no talking about the darkness. And the darkness is all of those emotions that you suppressed when you were a kid, when you were in a relationship. Hi, love. I am just popping in here real quick to go ahead and just let you know to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, as it does help with the algorithm here on YouTube, and leave me a comment down below letting me know that you loved it, if you did, or you hated it, whatever it is, just leave it down in the comments. I want to go ahead and interact with you, and I just appreciate you so much, and keep on watching. All right, so I, of course, made the mistake of not putting my phone on Do Not Disturb. So I got a phone call in the middle of me talking about duality and all of those things. So when you go ahead and, let's say, you suppress your emotions, right, from whether it's relationships, your childhood, you growing up with coworkers or anything like that, or maybe in your relationship now, that is the stuff that needs to go ahead and come to the surface, be addressed, healed, integrated, so you don't go ahead and continue repeating that same pattern over and over again. And this is the stuff that we work on in my coaching. And with that being said, you then are able to come into the light and love and realize that what is going outside of you is not really necessarily because of you. It's maybe a lesson or a reflection of you. So I have so much to share with you in regards to that. And please leave me a comment down below letting me know if this is resonating with you, if you're enjoying what we're talking about here. I am loving just more of these conversations, really, because this is really what sets my heart on fire. I love just being able to just share the things that I've been learning in regards to spirituality and in regards to life. And there may be some things that would be contradicting for you, especially if you have been raised a certain way. And everything that started for me really was reading. And this is one of my favorite books, which I really want to read a quote that I love from this book that I actually highlighted. So one thing, it says, "Who stops us from being free? We blame the government, we blame the weather, we blame our parents, we blame religion, we blame God. Who really stops us from being free?" And you want to know the answer? We stop ourselves. And that hit me to the core so much. And that's kind of what got me to really talk about my mom. So I mentioned my mom was a single mom, is still a single mom. And she had it rough. I mean, she was in a country that she didn't know, that she wasn't native to, and she wanted to go ahead and take the opportunity to go ahead and work and send money over to her mom. And then she ended up meeting some guy, and that guy became my father for just the sperm donation. I never ever have met him, and that is just a whole other story that isn't really a story, because it's so insignificant, but he had a purpose. His purpose was bringing me into this world, and I'm really grateful for him. I did have a lot of anger in regards to just him not being in my life, because I felt like if he had been in my life, I wouldn't have gone through so much abuse in my life. But I think those are lessons that I needed to learn in order to go ahead and be able to relate to others in a way, or learn of like all the disgusting and just not things that should be going on in our world. I remember when I was doing my first ayahuasca ceremony, and the shaman was singing about we need to save our children, these images of just molesters, pedophiles, and molesters within our home, especially within the Latin community. And I'm sure with every single community, it doesn't matter if you're Asian, white, Black, Hispanic, whatever freaking ethnicity you can think of. And I know that we have so much work to do, which is kind of what got me started on this and made me push even harder to be able to do this. But one thing that I have come to learn of, it's not all of my responsibility. My responsibility is to be able to speak on my truth, to be able to share my story, and to go ahead and tell people that they're not alone, tell people that they can go ahead and overcome those mental illnesses, those physical illnesses too, and that spiritual person that you are, and say of like, babe, you can go after whatever it is that you want to do in this life. And I know that along the way, I'm going to be connected with amazing women. And talking about that, I recently actually did mushrooms, and this is another plant medicine that people do, and you have a lot of internal realizations and things that come up to the surface. And I was considering, and I am considering, of making some retreats here in my home during the weekends, to be able to help people heal and overcome certain blocks that they've been having in their life, to be able to go ahead and thrive, because we're not meant to be chained. We are meant to be free. And I want every soul in this world to be free. And I know that I'm not the only one on this mission. And I just am so passionate about that, because it really starts with you. You focusing on yourself, you loving yourself, you putting in the work, knowing that you can have whatever it is that you want, because we are people learning to manipulate energy, because we are energy. And right now, as I'm saying this, my ear is ringing, and I am just really excited to be able to put this out there. And I want to cry, but I'm not going to. I am just really hoping this resonates with you. If this has helped you in any way, please let me know. Go ahead and message me on Instagram. I will leave all of my information down in the description box below for you. And I am really active on TikTok, but if you message me on Instagram, I am there. And if you want to go ahead and schedule a 1-hour session with me, I'd love to go ahead and connect with you and help you and set you on your way wherever you need to go. Maybe you want to go ahead and hire me for 3 months, because baby, the world is waiting for you. And until next time, I love you.